We're live now.
What's going on, everyone? How's your day been, or night been, or wherever part of the world you live in?
What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's enjoying a beautiful Tuesday evening or morning, depending on what type of the side of the world you're on.
Mm-hmm. Well, today's going to be a pretty much straightforward and simple episode. We're just going to talk about what we talked about in our stream. If you didn't catch it, I imagine there's going to be a link below or a way to get to that stream from yesterday to watch us play Back for Blood, a little review, and talk about a lot of things that we did. Marvel, DC, a lot of Power Ranger um, discussions.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about the same thing since this is a Power Ranger podcast based around the universe as well as other nerd stuff that we like as fans.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to talk about a lot of Power Rangers. So, as you all know, that February is almost over, which means next month is potentially Legend of the White Dragon season. So, David, how do you feel, my man?
Oh, dude, I've been waiting for this since its first inception, right? I've been waiting for this since Jason David Frank, RIP to the GOAT. He, went on his Instagram live and was like, hey, upcoming project, keep an eye out for it. And then when he released it, it was just amazing.
I know. I mean, for those of you who don't know, who've not paid attention, yes, JDF, we did tragically lose JDF in November of last year. Uh, and it was, I think, I woke up, David and Jerry simultaneously messaged me within a minute, 2 minutes apart from one another. And I had just woken up. And we all know if you're a fan of the franchise, this is not the first time someone's faked his death. And I thought it was the same outcome. Whenever I looked on Instagram and Twitter and saw that Walter Jones had said goodbye, old friend, that's when I knew it was real.
Yeah.
So he has been producing. We were producing it. It's his baby. And those of you know, the director, creator of Bat and the Sun Productions. He's directing it. I keep forgetting his name.
I know it's
I
Aaron.
can't
I
think
just
of his
don't know
name
his
at
last
the
name.
moment. Aaron something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, it's going to be one. It's going to be really awesome to see his face again and see his personality that he brings to the shows, and all around, I just can't wait for it. And yes, I'm a grown man. I'm gonna tell you, I cry about his passing, and I'm gonna cry whenever I go watch the movie. It is what it is.
Yep.
Um, with that said, we also have Once and Always coming up in April, like literally the month after Legend of the White Dragon. So there's a lot of speculations. There's a lot of theories going around if it's a flashback or if it's actually in this turn of the century. This not turn of the century. This year, like there's so much that people are putting into it that we can't wait to hear and see, and hopefully keep watching until the day of time it doesn't exist no more.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see a more adult version of Power Rangers. That's made more so for the fans, right? The fans that grew up with Power Rangers. Um, so that's what I'm excited for. Because there was, I don't know if you ever remember it, Jerry, but there was, the YouTube version of the adult version of Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, the one that Saban, I think Saban ended up suing
Yeah,
because copyright infringement. Yeah, that was tight. That was tight.
yeah. So if it's anything like that, then you know what, I'm all for it. Because let's be real. I mean, anything that you have, basically, not every, but about a good 60 to 70% of previous Rangers are in this movie. I mean, it's all previous Ranger based, and they're all playing new identities, things like that. So, um, like I said, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see, what goes on, and who else is gonna be in it, because the only three that I know for a fact, well, four that I know for a fact are in this movie, is Jason David Frank. He plays, Legend of the White Dragon Ranger.
Eric,
I mean,
Eric
there's
Reed, yeah.
um Jason Font, uh, Johnny Young Bosch, and I believe the girl, I forget her name, she played Mega Force Yellow. So those are the only four that I know
Yeah.
for a fact are in this movie. There could be more. I mean,
Wait, wait, JYB is in Legend of the White Dragon?
yes, sir.
I missed that. I missed that memo. So I
Yep.
knew it was Jason Font. I knew it was Jason Font and JDF, Mega Force Yellow, and I knew it was Jenna Frank that played Garrett Reed's daughter.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, for those of you who follow Jenna Frank is the daughter of Just David Frank. Um, in a way, I'm kind of excited to see her on the silver screen with her old man. But it's going to be heart wrenching. It really is. Um,
Yeah.
and for those who are saying that once and always the Green Ranger is going to be once and always, it's not who you think it is under the helmet. It's a stunt double.
Yeah.
We've said that many times over. If it is a flashback, I would imagine they would use his voiceovers because he did a lot of voiceovers from the movie,
Mhm.
season 3, Zeo, Dino Thunder Turbo. He did a lot of voiceovers, so there's a lot of material there that they can, repurpose and use in the once and always. So that may end up happening. Same thing with the Master Morpher. It's going to happen the same way.
Yeah. So, I'm excited to see what transpires from this. Yeah, I don't think I ever forwarded to you, but yeah. So JYB is actually going to be in Legend of the White Dragon, um, and I'm excited to see what happens with it. So,
We
um,
got, like I said, once and always is in April. We're all looking forward to it, and the actors who play the Rangers are on a what seems like a gag order. I would think because it's ever a hush hush, you can't talk about it,
hmm
and just looking at David Yost, he wants so bad to spill the beans,
yeah,
so bad. Um, and it's I think out of all this, I'm so happy to see David Yost return. We've
yeah,
talked about this prior. See, I'm so happy to return, and it's also a chance to see Jason Cardenas and Walter Jones work for the first time ever together.
hmm
Uh, it's going to be kind of cool to see that, and also see Johnny Bosch and Walter Jones, the two OG Black Rangers, on the same screen together.
yeah. So,
Uh,
we're very excited for it. You know what I mean? So, can't wait to see how this looks. To be honest with you, because
and then after, go ahead, baby.
so it's very rare that you get previous actors to be in the same movie, let alone previous actors who are also Power Rangers or appeared in a Power Ranger series, all in one movie, Power Ranger based. So very hard to do
Mm-hmm.
that. So obviously they must have all felt some type of way about this movie, which
Yeah,
whether they believed in it and thought it was a good idea. Obviously they had to have some type of good feeling towards it for everybody to be accepted on it. So, um,
yeah.
because when does that drop?
So what?
When does that
Which
drop?
one is it?
Legend of the White Dragon.
What? Once and always?
No, well,
All
Legend
in
of
the
the White
White
Dragon.
Dragon. Um, Legend of the White Dragon is supposed to drop March. I've heard rumors of March 20th, March 20th, even March 18th, which is my daughter's birthday. Would be awesome if it drops then.
Yep.
Um, but I've been hearing different rumors 20th, 21st, 18th. I really hope it's in March. And here's the thing I talked to David about this before the stream,
Mm-hmm.
before the episode. I wouldn't be surprised if it does get pushed back, because the director who's directing the movie was very close to Jason David Frank, and it wouldn't hurt my feelings if he did push it back, because he wants to edit it and make it the best thing he's ever created. All his Bat to Sun uh, uh, matches he's done, he wants to
Yep.
be as 10 times as best as that. I won't be mad. I really wouldn't,
No.
because we still got Once and Always. We got Cosmic Force, Cosmic Fury coming up in fall of this year, which is already looking promising. Um, then we got supposedly an upcoming Power Ranger anime called Go Go Loser Rangers. Um, yes, it's a funny name, but trust me, it looks awesome as hell. Um, then we got the new Sentai coming up real soon after Dawn Brothers. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a crazy year. So if we didn't have all that and just Legend of the White Dragon, yes, I would be kind of irritated that, hey, I want it now. I want it, but
Yeah.
there's so much ahead of us, including PMC. There's so much we're looking forward to that if he put this on hold, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Nah. No, not at all. So I'm excited for it. Um, you know what else I forgot was coming out? So this is more comic based
What?
world for the Power Ranger world, but the
Yep.
Mighty Morphin Power Ranger and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossover.
Yeah, I think it's the second crossover, if I'm not mistaken. It's like
Yes.
two TMNT Power Rangers 2.
Yep. So
So it's coming out.
they've already released two comics on this, dude. I didn't know that. Well, the first
What?
issue, yeah, bro. So the first issue dropped December 28th of last year. The second issue dropped January 25th of this year. And then the third issue, which features Ranger X, um, that drops tomorrow. So looks like I'm gonna have to go buy some comics and see what's going on with this series, man.
Bro, you're not joking, bro. You're not joking. And now we bring up the comics. If you've not picked up a Boom comic, I urge you to do so.
Yep.
It is everything. It's my inner child screaming and fangirling so hard because growing up loving Power Rangers, there was never comics of Power Rangers in it. I'm a big fan of the Detective Comics, which is a Batman fan, my all-time favorite comics.
Yep.
And reading them, and then hoping one day that a studio would pick up the Power Rangers name and then make a comic. Now is the time. So my inner child is going ballistic right now. And of course, you have fans of their opinions that it's destroying the franchise. I'm not going to name names.
Yep.
Or ruining your childhood. Like again, not naming names. If anything, it's not destroying childhood. Your childhood. It's getting it's putting in the hands of kids who are using various ways of getting into a different series or show, comic, whether it's physical, online, whatever it may be. It's getting out there. So I would imagine if Power Rangers didn't make it past, let's say it didn't make it past Jet X, which was one of the glory years of the Power Rangers as well as Saban. If it didn't make it past Jet X and no one picked up the name, then Power Rangers would have died, on to be honest.
Yep.
Um, and it's so cool. It's so awesome to be able to read it on paper. I ain't gotta wait for the next episode, which was like 2 or 3 days later. And keep on reading, keep on reading.
Yeah.
And for those of you who want to argue, the TMNT 2 is not TV continuity. It's Boom continuity. Okay, so
Yep.
it's not canon to the TV show. Uh, and that's fine. That's okay. You can't be mad at that. But for those of you who are getting mad every time I say the limited edition, the limited series is TV continuity. Sins of the Grid, Soul of the Dragon, Pink, all continuity of the TV show. If you don't like it, I understand. Do your research. That's where it's there for. But it is TV continuity. The crossovers is not, and that's how it
Yeah.
is.
So
Now, love my comics. I do. I defend them every step of the way. So pick a Boom comic. We urge you to read it. If you like it, please drop a thank you and say thank you for letting us telling us this. If not, then you understand.
Yeah. So I'm very excited for this because those of you who've never read the original, like I read the original series when it came out, I enjoyed it. Um, so I'm gonna give you the overall view of what this comic is about. So it's been 6 months since the teenagers with attitude and the heroes in a half shell teamed up to defeat the unholy alliance of Rita Repulsa and Shredder. But a new threat will force them to reunite in the crossover you demanded. Between an invasion from beyond, old enemies teaming up with an unlikely accomplices, and a threat to the Rangers' powers themselves, will the two teams survive the onslaught, or will they need help from the most unexpected ally imaginable? Longtime Power Rangers architect Ryan Parrott, Rogue's son, joins forces with superstars artist Dan Mara, world's finest once and future, to deliver the follow up with the hit crossover. So that's what it's about. Um, I guess, like we said, we urge you. We're not just solely based on series. Another good one is comic books because if you're not big on like watching the TV series for whatever reason, um, comic books are always a good way to express that creativity.
Yep. And another thing, speaking of comic, apparently I'm getting two different um, research notes here that says there was a 2022 Power Rangers the animated series that premiered on Cartoon Network. How did this go under my radar? I will never effing know. Okay, but doing my research, I found out that the Teenagers with Attitude, the same pilot that was on the cartoon animated series, which if you go look up research, there's nothing, no videos, no nothing. But if you go on Instagram and YouTube, you look up Teenagers with Attitude, it was fan made. So my my question is, where is this supposedly Power
Mm-hmm.
Rangers the animated series? Because we are all dying to see one. Like
Yeah.
solely, I'm like honest to all the gods above my head right now. Honest to the gods. Where is it? I mean,
We
Cartoon
demand to
Network.
know.
I demand no answers. Do not make me go back to Boomerang. Okay, don't want to go back to Boomerang as much as I like the old classic cartoons and all. But don't make me. Okay,
Jenny
where is this
Bravo.
show? I'm like that drug dealer. I'm like that drug dealer from Breaking Bad, man. Tight. I need my fix, man.
Yeah. So, if anybody can find it out there, we would much appreciate it. Drop the link in the comments and we'll check it out. Because this is kind of important. You know. Um.
Important and very highly interesting.
Yes, it is. So, um, with that being said, if you guys have never, if you guys don't want, read comics, hey, it's not for everybody. We understand. It is what it is. But again, we highly encourage you to do
Mm-hmm.
so. It does broaden the universe in total because of the fact of you don't have just one Ranger series at the time. You can read multiple series, multiple universes collide. Uh, like you'll hear us say often, with the Dragon series, the Dracon series that um, JDF got with Boom Studios to
Got it.
create.
Yep.
It's a great comic book read. I highly wish anybody to read it just because it puts a new spin on Power Rangers in general. But unfortunately, it's only comic book read. So you would have to only buy the comic book in order to read it. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, I mean, who knows? I mean, you may enjoy it, you may not. I mean, that's not for us to say. I mean, myself and Jeremy, we enjoy it. So,
And I know Jerry, our boy J3D, he enjoys it as well. I mean, uh, because believe it or not, we, like I said, we always tell the story because it is how we met. We all met on a role play, Power Ranger role play on Facebook for I think about 4 years ago, actually, 3 4 years
yeah,
ago.
just a little over 4 years
And
ago.
we all met, and a story goes, we had our shit together. We knew what we were going to do. We planned it out. Still, the team didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So when we branched, which I did with Jerry, and we knocked it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
And we still this day talk about all the role plays that we did, and you know, we started thinking, oh shit, if we didn't join that first role play that we did, we wouldn't have met.
Exactly.
So, and since Power Rangers role play is what brought us together,
Mm-hmm.
and we did not know that we were all one end of the East Coast, one end of the West Coast, and one smack dab in the middle. That was actually pretty funny.
It was, and it still is. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy how things like that, just a random community, can bring three people from across from each other to, basically be able to invest
Yeah.
into this program. So without that,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
and
we would have
yeah,
never met. That's for sure.
that's for damn sure. Even though that role play that we met in sucked balls, like it's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, just and then yeah, sure, we did. The three of us did kind of got out of communication because of COVID and whatnot, and I think last year we got back to it, and we started creating again, and then we were talking about discussing podcasts because originally I had my own podcast called Nerdward United,
Mm-hmm.
along with J3D, and I was working at the hospital at the time, and I was poorly exhausted because of COVID, uh, overworking, working too much, and then I just stopped making episodes for Nerdward United,
Yep.
and it was actually David. David actually, I think, listened to a few of our stuff, and he was actually impressed
Mm-hmm.
with a research that me and Jerry had accumulated over time. And I think it was all three of our ideas to go into a trio. And at first, it was called Ranger Roundup,
Mm-hmm.
and then we didn't want any, copyright infringement onto another podcast called that. So we decided to create the Zeonizer Podcast, and it's still evolving. It's getting there.
Slowly but surely, it's getting there.
Slowly but surely. Uh, and then there is the new season, which has garnered good reviews and also bad. It's not even out yet. This is we're talking about Cosmic Fury. I get that right? Cosmic Fury.
Yep. Cosmic Fury, the one and only for right now.
Cosmic Fury, which I have my good takes and bad takes on. Like a helmet, I did not know the helmets were from. Oh God.
From Dino
David
Fury.
dropped that bombshell on me earlier. Yeah, Jerry dumped that bomb on me. He said, "Yeah, they're from Dino. The helmet's from Dino Fury." I'm like, "Oh my God, why? This better not be a Power Ranger Super Dino Fury. I'm gonna lose my shit." Which, by the way, uh, Carter is coming back to play a Dark Ranger. That is also super exciting as well.
Oh yeah, I remember you sending that this morning before we jumped on the stream. So to
That
be
is also
honest,
very exciting.
I'm excited for it, but I hope his character is way less irritating. I say
True,
that
true, true.
because him, I've never been a big fan of the split personalities as a ranger, because I feel like it takes
Yeah.
away from, and I could be wrong. You know what I mean. Like I'm all for, being proved wrong. But just in my opinion, my soul based opinion, I feel like split personalities take away from it. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of harder to maintain that. So, and I know they needed a way to introduce the uh, multiple Rangers from the original or the Super Sentai version of
Yeah.
Dino Charge. So I understand it,
Yeah.
but I feel like they could have done better.
Yeah. And it's also, it's rumor. It's not. I don't think it's going to happen, but it should because it was in Sentai. But we're supposed to have a seventh Cosmic Fury Ranger, which is Orange, and it's a female.
Mm-hmm.
I think the name is Fern. Um, that, of course, we need an Orange Power Ranger. For the love of mercy, we need an Orange Power Ranger. And no, Boom don't count. Boom, that was from a nightmare in SP, not a nightmare, a dream in SPD. Does not count.
Nope.
But although there is an Orange Power Ranger in the comic, yes, but that's Boom continuity, not the TV continuity. So non-canon. Um, but we need an Orange Power Ranger desperately.
Yes, we do.
But wait, but no, because Skull is an Orange Power Ranger, but that's also a Boom continuity.
Yes.
So, uh, and then I can't stop talking about Power Morphicon. I can't stop talking about it. As good that would be for those of you listening. Power Morphicon is the Comic Con of Power Rangers. It happens every 2 years, so it's
Yep.
kind of like the Olympics for Power Rangers. I shouldn't compare it to the Olympics, but I just did. Oh well, who cares?
Oh
Um,
well.
and that will be the first time that me, Jerry 3D, and Phenomenal
Yep.
himself will meet.
Woohoo!
It's going to be epic. We're going to have a lot of content. I can't stress that enough. A lot of content.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of live feeds. We're going to try to see. I'm going to see if because we're going to be rocking the gold membership, which we'll have access to all the panels.
Yep.
We'll try to get some recording for the Rangers at the panels for the stream, for a video while we podcast. A lot of good things happening, and of course the Airbnb that we're going to be in because more room and a chance for us to set up our equipment for a live stream for PMC.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to have a good time. We're going to have fun. That's what this trip is about. Um, and it's going to be solely worth it because I'm coming from Texas and J3D, our buddy J3D, is coming from Maryland. So worth the trip. Our boy Phenomenal here is already in Cali, so he's our eyes or ears on the ground right now.
Yes, sir. So,
So
anything that has to deal with like the convention itself, I mean, we're all pretty torn into that. But like anything health wise for California, eyes and ears, got to make sure that these guys get the most accurate information, so we can all have some fun. Because truthfully, we wouldn't be able to do none of this without the passion that we have for Power Rangers. And it's not because we want to make money off of it. Because hey, if we could, hey, best believe we will. But the sole purpose of this
yep,
entire podcast is just to have fun and talk about the things that we have a passion for. And one of those, the main passion
exactly.
for it is Power Rangers. We grew up watching Power Rangers and just having a wonderful time with it, that we're like, you know what? I'm pretty sure we're not the only one.
No, hell no. I mean, there's a whole community. I mean, and I want to say this for a fact that before JDF's passing, yeah, the community was kind of toxic. Take
Mhm.
from us, it is toxic before his death, and after his death, I have never seen a mass coming together in this community like that. I mean, it saddens me that his death had to bring us together for
Yeah.
us to say, hey, we're in this together. We're not uh, we're not segregating ourselves from one another, and it's his death that did that. And he's done so much for the community. He's done so much for comic book shops. If it wasn't for him, COVID would have wiped out every single comic business in the U.S. So we have him to thank for that as well.
Yep.
Um, let's see, what else is there? Oh yes, we are planning to stream as well. So when we're not talking about Power Rangers and Marvel, DC, nerd related stuff on the podcast, we will be streaming as well. Because even though we are Rangers at heart, we are embedded gamers in our DNA. I'm thinking about getting a countdown going because in June, the mother of all strategy games, Diablo 4, will be dropping June 5th.
Yep.
I've got David, my buddy David's got his savings for it. J3D's got savings for it. I'm saving up for it. And then we are going to try to drop a day one stream, Diablo 4.
Yep.
Praying that all the cards are aligned, all the cards on the table, the stars are aligned, that God smile upon us, and it happens, because a lot can happen between now and June. But if not, then we will stream, because I know for a fact that David or Jerry are not going to stream. They're going to play, but they're not going to stream without yours truly.
Exactly. I won't do that to you.
I know. I love you, baby.
I love you too, sweetie.
So like I said, Diablo 4 will be streamed.
Yep.
We'll talk. We'll mostly focus on the game itself, the mechanics, the classes, the gameplay. We will not be talking much on Power Rangers because all of our attention will be on Diablo 4. I've been waiting for a new Diablo since Diablo Immortal. Can't wait. Super excited. As well as if you are a fan of Starship Troopers, like we are.
Yep.
There is a game coming out. We'll be streaming that as well. And like I said, we'll be talking about the game. We won't be talking about anything else. I mean, we did Back for Blood, but everyone knows Back for Blood. So we just kind of just talked and, just did stupid stuff all the time. But when it comes to new games, we will be solely streaming and not talking about anything else but the game itself. So,
yeah. So me and Jeremy, we play heavily with the necromancers. That's kind of the go-to for us. So we're kind of excited to see if we can make the AI crash and get super pissed off for having not one but two necromancers, and see if we could even get our buddy Jerry to be a necromancer and build his class, because truthfully, I want to see the system crash. Okay.
And here's the thing. I've already dubbed this stream. If we choose 3 necromancers, we have the Power Rangers Teenagers with Attitude. But when we do Diablo 4, we're all 3 necromancers. It would be called Necromancers with Attitude, baby.
Yep.
Hell yes. And for those of you who are saying, "Oh, necromancers are a sucky class," your opinion. I've always rocked the necromancer, and the spin to win barbarian. Call me a noob. I don't care. Spin to win barbarian will topple even your demon hunter. I said what I said. But nonetheless, can't wait for it. Can't wait how Starship Troopers ends. How Starship Troopers goes, and and also for my fellow BioWare fans, Dragon Age 4. I heard it's supposed to be hopefully later this year, if not next year, early next year, and then the new Mass Effect. I don't think those 2 games will be cross-play, cross-platform. Hopefully by that time, I'll have my computer set up and I will stream solo with that and put it on the Twitch and put it on the YouTube channel and Facebook channel as well.
Yep.
But that being said, yes. We understand we're amateurs. We get that. We're not pros by any means.
Nope.
Because I don't think people will give us that much leeway without adult supervision.
Yeah, I need to have an adult with me at all times. Otherwise I make
You
very
need
bad decisions.
you need what we call an adultier adult.
Yep, I need an adult here. Adult. And if
Exactly,
one
exactly.
cannot be provided, then I am not liable for the mistakes or choices I will
Hmm.
make.
Also, I am also planning on going to a con here in Dallas on May. Chance to see Amy Jo Johnson, the OG Pink Ranger. That's what I said, the OG Pink Ranger.
Yep.
She'll be in Dallas come May. Uh, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure I go and get her autograph. Talk a few things. Talk about uh, does she have any plans for the Power Ranger series? Is she gonna be mentioned in the Once and Always? Probably not. Um, and I will make sure to send all my research information to my brothers J3D and Phenomenal, and we will discuss it on the channel, how
Mm-hmm.
it went, and where we are going to try our damnedest to bring everyone here exclusives. You heard from us, you heard from whoever, your mama, your daddy, who knows, but we're going to do our damnedest to make sure you guys are entertained, and hopefully you don't kick us in the gigantic bottomless Sparta 300 hole. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, with that said, is there anything that you wanted to top the Phenomenal before we move on?
I kind of want to talk about. I don't know if you have much information on this. The Osama Sentai King Oger.
Oh, 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 oh. There's a lot of oohs in the sentence.
Talk to
I
me,
didn't
brother.
hear much about Uger. I didn't hear. I didn't hear much. I heard a rumor online that it's supposed to be late this year.
Mm-hmm.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, that's the one after Don Brothers, is it not?
Yes.
Okay, Don Brothers is almost over with. I'm still I think episode 5 right now.
Mm-hmm.
From my sources, I've heard it's going to be later on in the year, like maybe August, early August, maybe late September. We will see the next Sentai. And next Sentai, if y'all know what we're talking about, is we've seen dinos, we've seen um, cars, we've seen spacecrafts. First time we're ever seeing insects, people, insects. This is reminiscence of Big Bad Beetleborgs and Kamen Rider, damn near. Um,
Yep.
Super exciting. Hopefully, I can even watch it to the same channels like I do with the other Sentais. If not, then I'll have to wait till the season is over with, and then uh, hopefully find out a way I can watch party with J3D and Phenomenal, and we can give y'all our opinions on it, which nothing but good on my side, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for it just because. I mean, I've told you before, Jeremy, that I was a big fan of Beetleborgs, man.
Oh yeah, who
Big
didn't?
bad Beetleborgs. So the fact that they're gonna have something like it, I mean, I'm all for it. Um,
Yeah.
and I believe they're also gonna be including the Dawn brothers in like a couple of episodes as well.
Oh, kind of crossover, really.
Yep.
Okay,
So
I want to get I want to get that out here for the. I mean, yes, because there are Ranger fans who don't follow the Sentai. That's okay. You don't
yeah,
have to. No one's making you. But here's the thing: when we tell you Don Brothers, we're not talking about a Japanese Godfather mafia movie. That's not
nope.
what we're talking about. Okay. Fucking, excuse my language, but fucking hilarious Super Sentai. Probably the most funniest Sentai I've ever even watched. People, there's a lot of there's a lot of Looney Tunes elements to where one of the Don brothers, one of the Rangers, small. I can't think of his name. He's the smallest one. Um, Getting what it looked like Looney Tunes smash back and forth on the ground repeatedly. It's hilarious. Okay, um, very funny, very hilarious. I would definitely give it a watch. If not, I mean, because I usually like to watch. I don't know about you, David, but I like to watch the Sentai, the subtitles.
Yep.
Okay, good. Um, even though I'm weird because I do watch anime with the subtitles, it's different. I'm sorry, it is to me it's different. Um, but when it comes to Super Sentai, I don't watch the subtitles because I know what's going on based upon actions.
Yep.
So we got new Sentai, we got new Power Ranger adaptation coming our way this
Mm-hmm.
fall. We
New
have
comic book that came out
the
with
new comic book. Yep,
that came out, so I'm excited for that.
new comic. We got Legend of the White Dragon once and always, bro. This is the year for Power Rangers, bro. I'm telling
Oh
you.
yeah, without a doubt, brother. So there's just a lot of people that have been wanting new Power Rangers, and I'm all for it. You know, um, the one thing that I'm not excited for, and I've said it before, and I'll continue saying it. If you're gonna have an adaptation from Super Sentai to legitimately Power Rangers, right? I feel like you need to at
Yeah,
least incorporate the original, you know, swords or, the uniform, so to speak, right? And I'm talking about Cosmic Fury.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
The helmets that they got them from,
Got it.
I mean, it's from Dino Fury, which is the season prior to that. Which, hey, if you can't get the rights to it, then hey, understandable. Okay. But I feel like you should have at least tried, in my opinion, to get the helmets for it. Because what I'm referring to is this, right? If you've never watched the Super Sentai, um, I believe it's Kaiju Ranger. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think so. I think it is.
Yeah, Uchu Sentai Kaiju Ranger,
True. Yep,
right?
you are correct.
Those helmets are basically the 12 horoscopes of,
The
of
constellations.
of the constellations, right? I felt
Mm,
like you should have had more justice for them than just what you were given. Okay.
right.
And with the American adaptation for Cosmic Fury, which we all know by now that that's what they were going for, um,
Yeah.
you could have at least donned the helmets. As a bare minimum, you could have donned the helmets and had it at that instead of
Mhm.
what you're doing now is just basically reusing the helmets. Because say what you want about the classic, zombies, but at least they donned the helmets of the adaptation that they were going for. Hey, as much as we talk bad about Megaforce, at least they donned the helmets of the Super Sentai that they were going
Yeah.
for. So,
Which makes me think the reason why they're donning they're using the uh, helmets from the past season. Do you think it's probably because they couldn't cover the production cost of having that particular helmet for the suits?
I don't think more so it's production because I feel like, as outrageous as the costumes are right now with painted on abs, you could have paid for it. You could afford it.
Yeah.
So I think it's more so maybe they don't have the rights to it, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. At
Oh yeah.
least at least make that known, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean that makes some sense, but it's just funny. You guys had to be there to see Jerry's reaction to the abs on the Power Ranger suit. His initial reaction is he could not stop laughing.
Yeah, neither could I. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, we went from having painted lips on it to on the helmets to this. And I feel like that's worse. Hey, if you're not chiseled, it is what it is. Not holding it against you.
Right. Mhm.
But come on now.
I think you know we talked about a lot on our last stream on Back for Blood. We did mention our favorite Ranger seasons, our least favorite sixth Rangers, but you don't ever hear. I mean, you hear comparisons, from different people's, 1 to 10 favorite Ranger seasons, 1 to 10 worst. But I think one thing that's kind of lost in translation is the battleizers. Um,
Yep.
Battleizers, which started, which for those of you who don't know, we're talking about battleizers, it's kind of like a souped up version of the Ranger, massive armor, heavy firepower, which started in Power Rangers in space. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now if you want to talk, if y'all want to talk about chiseled on Cosmic Fury, go look back in space and see Andros chiseled out. That's a chisel, man. I'm telling you.
True.
I mean, he was when he was battleizer with that battleizer in space. Now, note that some of these battleizers are really either kind of like really, so I haven't put any thought and concept in this, and some of them are holy shit badass. So
Yeah.
how about we start with what's your 3 favorite battleizers in the whole Ranger universe?
Oof. Um, my favorite three would have to
Mhm.
be um I'm gonna have to go with SPD for one.
Yeah.
Um Mystic Force and then
Okay.
Ninja Storm.
Oof. Ooh. Okay. Mine, I have to go with one Mystic Force, the Red Dragon Fire Ranger, which that was badass. The way he looked with with Fireheart, that was so badass.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Two, I gotta go with SPD. There's the fact that they can combine with that Robo Dog. What's his name? Fred?
Nah.
Mac? No, can't think of his name, but he combined with that Robo Dog and it was Mode One, and I mean, was it Mode One or Mode Two?
Mode
No,
2.
I'm thinking of Mode Two. Yeah, him. And my last one, I have to go with. No, it was a horrible season. It made no sense, but it's better than Megaforce. I gotta go with Operation Overdrive.
Really?
Yeah, don't judge me. Don't at
I'm
me.
I'm not, but that's interesting.
And oh, if for those of you who are saying what's Operation Overdrive, I mean, Operation Overdrive took place, I believe, after Mystic. No, was it after Mystic Force or was it after RPM?
Yes. After Mystic Force, before RPM.
Okay. Yeah, and more or less, it's basically a Pinocchio and Geppetto story, if you will. David knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's like Pinocchio and Geppetto. He wanted his own son. He created a boy, became a real boy, and he starts rethinking his life decisions.
It's a boy.
which, which, by the way, to me, worst mentor ever is Andrew Hartford. Okay, I
Yep.
hate that fool. I saw the butler more as a mentor than Andrew Hartford. Okay,
Just because he had
my
money
opinion.
doesn't mean you can create your own Ranger team.
Exactly, exactly. Which, by the way, don't get me wrong. The Operation Overdrive suit, the uniforms were so legit and so fire. Excuse me. It's so fire. It's so awesome.
Bless you.
Excuse me. the suits they wore, the uniforms they wore, man, just top tier. It's just so awesome. And I think that's something that I like the most is I always want to have those suits, but I couldn't because you can't show up to work look like a Power Ranger. It's forbidden, apparently.
Sadly. So yeah, those were my three. I felt like the worst battleizers in history
Oh God,
were Lightspeed. I'm sorry.
Lightspeed, Lightspeed, the fucking rollerblades.
Yeah,
Wait, was that Lightspeed or Time Force?
that was Time Force.
Yeah, Time. That's my favorite. That's my worst one. The motherfucker was on rollerblades. He could fly. Like, make it make sense, my man. Seriously, come on now.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I didn't like light speeds was because of the fact of you had not only your green and blue ranger have battleizers, but then your red ranger had a battleizer out of a dirt bike or a motorcycle.
I mean, that was a lot of them actually.
Yes, but the wheels went on the back, and those were your weapons, and the fender was your weapon. Make that make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah. My worst one was Time Force. Like, I didn't understand the whole rollerblade concept. Maybe because I can't rollerblade. Who knows? But just the concept of rollerblades and it's like, ooh, you're so tough. You're wearing a rollerblade battleizer. I'm so scared.
Yeah.
Now something like the Red Fire Dragon Ranger, that bro, or even Andros's gigantic mobile boomerang. Come on now.
Yeah, that was kind of a
I
different
mean,
story on that one.
yeah. See what else is there? We talked about our three best Zords. What about the three worst Zords ever?
Oof, that one's too easy. Um, the rescue, super rescue Megazord from Turbo.
Oh yeah.
Lightspeed's Megazord. The huge ass train that they had seemed kind of redundant to me.
Yeah.
Um, and truthfully, the Gosei Megazord. I mean, to me that looked too animated.
True. I agree with you on that one. That's one on my list. But that one's number two on my list. Um, number one, I have to go with the Turbo Megazord. Okay.
The original one?
The original one, the OG one, yes.
What?
I say that for a reason because it's too clunky looking. I mean, come on. And half the time it was getting its ass kicked most of the episodes anyway. So that's my number one.
Okay.
Number two is Gosei Megazord, yes. Number three, okay, you're going to hate me for this one, Dave.
Oh God.
Jungle Pride Megazord.
Why? Now we have to discuss
Dude,
this. Why?
I never liked the Jungle Pride Megazord. I can't explain it to you. I found it to be so annoying and so just an eyesore. Wolf Prime Megazord was awesome as hell. Even Dom's Rhino Megazord was awesome as hell. But I didn't really care for the Jungle Pride. I mean, it's just can't describe to you how much I hate it.
You know which one I
Yeah,
hated?
that's my
I
three
hate
worst.
so bad. It's not even on my top three. It's the one that I hate so much.
Okay, is it early Saban era or is it post Disney era?
I think this is actually in the Disney era or post Disney era.
Okay, that's oh. Well, see, Ninja Storm was Disney era.
Yep.
Dino Thunder was not. Dino Thunder was Disney era.
Yep.
Let's see. Lost Galaxy was Lost Galaxy Disney era, or was that technically Saban?
Lost Galaxy was Saban.
Okay, so RPM? No, RPM was back
Yes.
on. RPM, really?
Yes.
It wasn't the one I think it is it?
You give me a guess and I will tell you yes or no.
Okay. Let me.
Where'd you go, Jeremy? You cut out for a second, my brother.
Uh, Hold on, my man. There you go. Was it the attack vehicles of RPM?
Yes. God, I
Thought so.
hated those things.
Yeah. Hey, sorry for everyone. My phone is crap. Um, but yeah, I had a feeling it was the attack vehicles. I
Bro,
wasn't really crazy about them either.
why would you have big ass bug eyed eyeballs for these things? Like, I understand.
Why? I didn't know. Why are you making fun of me? I have big ass eyeballs. Why are you making fun of me?
Funny. But, like, in all my years of watching Power Rangers, right?
Yeah.
That had to be the most cartoonish Ranger series ever. Like,
RPM. I thought wasn't RPM a more darker, grittier, post-apocalyptic kind of era type of Power Rangers?
yes, it was. However, RPM was also the only one that ever questioned why there was explosions behind them.
Oh, so they're kind of like break the fourth wall type of. Yeah, I didn't
Yes.
ever notice that. I never noticed that. Now I gotta go back and watch now.
Yes, you do, my friend. Yes, you do.
Shit. Okay. Um. Oh fudge. If there was a chance to bring back any series forgotten, I'm not just talking about Power Rangers. Any series.
Mm-hmm.
What series would you bring if you had the money and you was the lead man of Hasbro? What series would you bring back to this new generation?
Oof. Can I make it a Super Sentai?
That's a good one to think of. Without Power Rangers is basically Super Sentai area. Besides Sentai, I mean, a series that's not around no more.
Hmm.
I know several.
There's quite several that I would bring back, and I would bring back
Hey, here.
adaptations for them. Um, the only one that I won't bring is Toku Ranger from the Super Sentai, just because
You want
it's
Goku Ranger back?
no. Well, if I do, it won't be the Zords, and it won't be the
That's
fact
true.
that every Ranger can basically control everyone's color. I
Okay.
won't do that.
Okay. All right. I see the point. Okay.
Like, if you're my
Get what
Red
I'm saying.
Ranger, if you're my leader, I'm not gonna have you transform into the Pink Ranger, right? I'll do what Dino Charge
Yeah.
has done before, which they started doing, which is taking control of that certain Megazord.
Yeah.
Like that, I'm okay with. Um,
Yeah.
Toku Ranger for one, Eye Ranger for two, right? Give it the proper adaptation that it needed.
Yeah.
Die Ranger, which I've mentioned this before. I felt like if any Ranger series needed an actual second season, I felt it was Jungle Fury. and they could have incorporated
True.
Die Ranger into it.
You know what? Yeah. I thought Jungle Fury was one of those underrated seasons. Like, gosh, kind of like how, uh, I can't talk. Jungle Fury. I would like to see a season 2 SPD. I mean, even though it's not in the Super Sentai, I do understand. But here's mine. Okay.
Okay.
I want to see Hasbro pick this up, make a new series out of it. If you change it, I don't care as long as it still has the name. Mystic Knights of Tir Nog. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Ringing some bells.
Yep.
Big Bag Billboards Metallics. Okay, I liked that one.
Yeah.
And I also want to see a Common Rider adaptation into America. I know there was in 2010, 11, or 12, or so. I think 2011 or 12. I may be wrong. If y'all know, you can correct me in the bottom.
An
I
American
have a feeling that it
adaptation?
was. I believe so.
No, my brother. The only Kamen Rider adaptation there was when it was season 3 of Mighty Morphin. That was it.
No, no. I remember reading something about there was an American adaptation of Kamen Rider, and it was like in 2010 or 2012. I mean, you can look it up for yourself. I remember mostly reading an article of that, even though they said there's a couple seasons and then they canceled.
Have to look this up right here. You know what? Let's
Look
look
it
it
up.
up right now while we're doing
Yes,
this.
look it up.
Get
Yes,
active
let's look it up.
common.
Which by the way, for everyone listening, my all-time favorite Kamen Rider is Kamen Rider 000. Okay, Kamen Rider 000, Kamen Rider Geeks, my all-time favorite two ones. Ugh.
Da, 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 da. Excuse me.
While David does his research,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sing y'all a little song.
Oh
And
God.
when I sing you this song, it is from my generation, not this new generation that is about to be thrust upon us. Okay, so it goes like this. Gotta get my vocals ready, you know. There it goes.
You're so stupid.
I love you, you love me. We're a happy family. Oh, I'm gonna stop now. I'm scared of myself.
Yeah, please do.
But I'm
Um,
still supportive.
let me see here. So the only Google. Um, American adaptations. Nothing, bro.
I'm serious. I'm not making this shit up.
Nah, man. I'm looking at it right now. Google does not lie.
Well, also, I'm older than Google, so Google kiss my ass.
Yeah, so they only talk about the fact that um are you talking about Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, which had the dude from whatchamacallit, the
I'm talking about
dude.
Dragon Knight. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. So that one, I guess you can call it an adaptation. Um, that was the what's his? What's the dude's name? I forget the guy's name. He did. He's done a lot of like Japanese um like karate movies. So I know his face. I just don't know his name.
Oh yeah. And also when I mentioned Mystic Knights of Teardrop Dog, for those that know, Mystic Knights came on about mid season 1, season 2 of Mighty Morphin, when I guess they were busy filming and another series tried to capitalize on the formula that they had succeeded. They only got, I think, like 20 so episodes in, and I guess Saban had an issue with them. Actually, no, it's from Saban. Actually, I can't imagine this. Yeah, it's from Saban. And then
Mm-hmm.
they just pulled the plug because they were not getting feedback as they were Power Rangers. People were calling them rip-offs, and clearly they weren't being rip-offs because uh, the whole series took place in the medieval times, and they had powers and abilities, much like the Power Rangers. But
Yeah.
that was it. It was kind of interesting though. And then Big Bad Beetleborgs, which if you've never seen Big Bad Beetleborgs, thankfully YouTube exists. Please
Mm-hmm.
go watch it. Both seasons, even Metallic. Please, please, please.
Yeah, it's very worth to watch. Um, it's not like VR Troopers.
No.
Okay. In my opinion, it's better just because the storyline makes better sense. So,
Yep. And I think this was like during, was this their pre-Zeo era?
yes.
That Big Bad Blue? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, bring a rehash version of Big Bad Beetleborgs. Um, and if you don't use kids, I understand the whole child labor law in the country. I understand. Um, fine with adults. I really am. Teenagers, whoever.
Yeah.
Kamen Rider. I want to see. I want to see Kamen Rider adapt because I think this is going on about 40 years now. I think Kamen Rider has. I may be wrong because Super Sentai started in 1975. So
Kamen Rider
about
came
that
out
time.
76. Came out
Oh,
a
I
year
did.
later.
Okay. I know Sentai came out in '75, and I know that Kamen Rider was around that same era.
Yeah.
But if y'all don't like Sentai, we're not making you tell you to go watch them. But just try it out. I mean, there's some services that you can watch it with subtitles. You can even uh, I have a friend of mine who does this. He likes to translate the uh, spoken English, audio from Japanese to English. I don't know how he does that. He does that. Do
I would
that,
love to
you
know
know,
how.
no shit, right? I would love to know that. Just try it out. Value Ranger, I would think would be your best start point, in my opinion. Um, see what else. Anything you wanted to discuss further?
Nah, man, I think we've covered it all for today's episode. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think give us a little time. We will be having next week episode on Tuesdays, so we are trying to get a more permanent schedule for streaming on the podcast. We are thinking either Tuesdays or Mondays, one of those two.
One of those two, yeah.
So
And for those of you who are saying why Monday, why Tuesday, it's because those streams and most podcasts take place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, where we want to be able to innovate and be different than everyone else and be able to do it like Monday and Tuesday or just during the middle of the week.
Yep.
Because if you think about it, we're competing with views and fellowships with Friday, Saturday, Sunday podcast streams. We don't want the extra hassle. So Monday and Tuesday, and we know we work for a living, and we want to be able to go home on Monday of all worst days of the week, Monday at work, and Tuesday following after, and be able to relax and watch a stream or watch us talk about Power Rangers all day.
Exactly. So,
But
once we get a
yeah,
more permanent schedule, I mean, obviously, we're gonna be posting on those days. Right now, we're just kind of, just posting just to post, and when the ideas come fresh to us, that's when we're just jumping online and doing it. So, bear with us, you guys. I mean, we are trying to get something more consistent for you guys. So, just because not everybody's doing a Power Ranger stream like we are. I mean, some that do, they're able to. They have the convenience to be able to post and have a live stream of it. Whereas for us, we are three people on different corners of the United States, and it's harder for us. So, if you guys are listening to this, it's more of a listen podcast, which we will be uploading onto a streaming service, so that way we can actually post the audio wherever you guys get your podcast from. So whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, I mean, you name it, that's where we're gonna be, uploading it, as well as YouTube. YouTube's gonna be our main one, our main channel. Um, so just keep an eye out for it. And once once we go live, make sure you guys hit that like and bell, like and subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let you guys know when we go live and when we post videos. I mean,
yep. I'm currently working on getting the channel on Anchor so that if you do follow Anchor, if you're on Anchor and you listen to podcasts on Anchor, we'll be on Anchor as well. Currently working on that one. And also follow and like my man Phenomenalmiklo on Twitch.
yep,
I'm working on my Twitch as well as J3D is working with his, and we're going to come together as a team, and we're going to be teammates on Twitch. Uh, but send him a like, send him a follow. This man's got some awesome streams. He's got some awesome videos. I think from his schedule, from what I've seen, he does a lot of AEW and WWE kind of follow ups.
yep.
It's worth a watch. This man knows what he's talking about, and he knows what he's saying. So
I would
he's
hope
also a
so.
cool guy. He's also a cool guy to talk to and get to know.
Yeah.
Like don't be trying to hit on my man. He's mine. He's mine. Okay, mine.
You got
Mine.
jokes. My wife would
But
disagree.
anyway, so would mine. Okay. But we thank you guys for tuning in, listening to us ramble and talk about all things Power Rangers and what's coming up in the future schedule of the Zeonizer Podcast, stream wise and podcast wise. We thank y'all for being here with us. Thank y'all for giving us the time of day to listen to us. It means the world to us.
Yep.
Even though we don't get any views, we don't get any likes, it's not going to stop us from doing what we love to do.
Not at all.
And we hope you guys enjoy the ride. Lots of stuff coming your way, streams, conventions, PMC. We'll bring it all to you right here from the Zeonizer Podcast. And here's the thing, if you want to get Zeonized, you know where to come.
I like that. We're gonna have to keep using that. So, if you want to get Zeonized, you know where to come. So, thank y'all for listening. This is your boy Phenomenalmiklo, aka David, and Jeremy, Mr.
This is Jeremy, Mr. aka Mr. Fun Guy. I will tell y'all where the name came from one day. And our boy J3D, Jerry, aka J3D, is MIA currently. Hopefully, we'll get him on an episode so y'all guys can hear his thoughts and his take on everything Power Rangers and Marvel and DC related. But until then, We'll catch you on the flip side, and stay lovely, stay wonderful, and as always, you guys stay awesome.
See you guys later.